Rashad, do you feel, as you talk about getting older, does that play a role in how you see yourself today? Like you're just getting older, and also, do you see yourself? Can you almost see the end of the tunnel and preparing for life after
Yeah.
fighting?
Yeah, seeing my mortality in the sport was definitely something I thought about more as I turned another year older. Because it just felt like I just started fighting the other day. But I started to realize that soon, within the next few years, this will all be over. And then I started to think about what would that final thing be that will make me wish that I would have done looking back. And to get a belt and be champion was one of them. But for more than anything, it was just to go out there and have fun competing. And that was something that I was missing for a while. Just have fun doing it, enjoy it. I chose this as fun. I didn't choose this as punishment. And sometimes I would get to the point where I would think, I'd be like, man, why do I even do this? I'm blessed to do this. This is a gift. I've got God has blessed me with this immense gift to be healthy enough to be able to do this and to do it at the level that I'm doing it. So I better enjoy it because this is not something that's promised to me tomorrow. And that's one thing that this year has brought me.
So put Little Nog in the context of fun then. You're not fighting for a title. You're fighting in a fight that, people stack you obviously higher than him in the rankings. So people might argue, what does Rashad really have to gain with this victory? Just number 18, I suppose. So how do you rate that in your own brain, and how do you get excited about this fight?
I decided to not rank fights in fighters and fars on a level of thinking which one is the most important. Because when it all comes down to it, it's all about the body of work that you encompass all together. So I look at each fight like it is the title fight. This is going to be my title fight, because without this fight, there's no way I can even compete against anybody else on a higher level. So I know he's going to go in there and try to do what he can to separate me from consciousness or try to rip off one of my limbs or anything like that. So I got to go out there and do the same to him. And he doesn't care if I fought John Jones or what my record is or what people say. He's going to go in there and try to beat me the same. So all those things, it really doesn't matter. And my focus just has to be on making sure that I make an example of him, of what I really can do.
How good do you think his boxing is?
I think he has really good boxing. He has really good boxing, a Cuban-style boxing, where it's really nice with the counter and they kind of catch you slipping. So he has really good boxing. But I'm too fast.
Do you feel with his layoff and your layoff that you're both come into an even playing field, so to speak?
Yeah, I think so. With the layoff, we were both coming into an even playing field. And that's another great thing about this fight is that we both, we're both equal in that level, that we both had some time off. And, if we have ring rust, we're going to have it together so we can hold hands through the ring rust.
You had said that some of the guys at your camp, such as Tyrone Spong and Anthony Johnson, had really helped you kind of get a fresh perspective. What was it specifically? Is it more that you had the mentor role with them, kind of feel like the father figure in the Black Stallions camp that helped?
Yeah, I would say that. I would say the mental role, but even like you watching, AJ, Anthony Johnson, he's completely transformed into a different fighter altogether since he's left the UFC. And most of it was mentally. He's got a great attitude about himself right now. And even in the practice room, he's just got a great positive energy about the way he goes in there and he focuses and he gets it done. And that's kind of rubbed off on me in a big way. And Tyrone Spong, you're watching, arguably one of the best kickboxers of all time make a transition into a sport, which he doesn't have a base for as far as wrestling is concerned. And I see the excitement in his eyes when he learns something, or when when he gets an idea of how he can marry some of his old skills with something that I just showed him. And I love to see that excitement, because then it gets me thinking, gets me excited about fighting and gets me to appreciate the sport in a different way.
We're talking about the joy, enjoying the fights, but if there is any fight that you want to really do and in the future, enjoy also.
Yeah, I would I would love to enjoy. I would enjoy the fight. I say when it's all said and done, I would love to say that I fought the best the best fighters of my time. I like to tell my grandkids, your granddad went in there and he fought them all, and that's something I would love to do. And with that said, I would love to be able to say, I fought John Jones. I would love to say that, the person, Anderson Silva, they say he's the greatest of all time. Well, I fought Anderson, and I beat Anderson, and that's something I would love to say that I've done and that I accomplished when it's all said and done in my career. So I would enjoy to be able to stand there and compete with the best of my time in my weight class.
Speaking of those people, I was with your old rival Quentin Rampage Jackson the other day, and
Rashad, don't say it. Don't say that.
I'm curious what your thoughts are on his departure and just what you feel he's contributed, because I know you guys were rivals, but at the same time, friendly rivals.
I'm gonna miss Rampage, man. I'm gonna miss him a lot, man. He was he was a great talent, and the sad part for me with Rampage is I feel like he never really realized how talented he was, and that's one thing I wish that he would have realized how talented he was. I hope that he rediscovers some things for himself and find out that he is all fighter and he needs to be fighting on the best stage right now, and that's with the UFC, and I hope that him and Dana and the UFC make up and he comes back. I would love to see him compete again. He's one of my favorite fighters. He's one of the fighters who inspired me to start training. So for him to come back and to really rediscover himself as a fighter that he is and really realize the potential, for me, it would be great.
And how proud are you of Vitor? I feel like, Vitor was always good, but I think sometimes he mentally defeated himself before a fight. And so I'm curious what you feel now that he's been with you. He's been doing very well and just seems new again, even though he's been here for so long.
I feel I'm so proud of him. I am proud of him because, coming onto the team, people said a lot of things about Vitor and, his mindset, and, people say he's a choke artist and stuff like that. But, watching his development, watching him how he's been for the last few fights with us has actually shown me a lot, And I've never seen somebody so composed, somebody so mentally focused, somebody so hungry after all these years of fighting him as Vitor. And it's actually inspired me a lot. She was talking about one of those people in the gym who's actually inspired me, and he's one of those guys who inspired me because he's always positive. He'll never say this, but going into both fights with Jones and Bisping, he hurt himself in training. And he pushed through it. He pushed through it. And, it showed me that, and even through it all, not only did he push through it, he took it as a challenge. This is a challenge before I actually fight, getting through this injury, getting through this little situation. Now I'm going to be better after all this.
For challenges, if you were to go to 185, when would you anticipate doing that? Would it be after this fight? You were speaking about if you went, it would be just to fight Silva. Is that right?
It would have to be, it'd be like a while from now. It'd probably be, if I was to make the cut, I would have to do it over a period of time because I'm pretty heavy now. Naturally my body gets up to be about 235. But with that said, that's not me eating like super, super clean. It would have to be a really big lifestyle change for me as far as just making sure that I get everything in order as far as nutrition and nutritionists and everything. So it's something that I would do, but it's something I would do with full dedication and let the UFC know that I can definitely make the weight, and I would make it a process, like a 6-month process to do.
You've made some statements that you're pretty positive you can beat Silva. What brings you that confidence?
Yeah. Why am I so confident I can beat Silva? Because I feel like my style is a style that he really hasn't faced. I feel like he's really never faced somebody as athletic as I am, and somebody as fast as I am, and somebody with the takedown ability as I got married together. Not saying he didn't go against great wrestlers and everything else like before, but I'm talking about that package married together. So I felt like he's never faced a fighter like me, and I feel like I am the fighter who would give him a lot of troubles. And he knows that. He even knows that.
Was it a lot that you saw maybe with the Chael fight that you were confident?
Sure, the Chael fight, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Chael, I mean, not to take Chael lightly and say, oh, just because Chael did it, I can do it. Chael's a hell of a fighter, and Chael has one of the best takedowns in the game, and he's very tenacious. So there'll be a lot of work I need to do to get to be like that, with tenacious with my takedowns and stuff like Chael was. But for the most part, I feel like I can do a great job based off of that fight.
Thank you, Rashad.
Yep.